Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where I share creepy and scary stories that will give you chills. If you love horror and spooky tales, make sure to subscribe and join me every week for a new story. Let's get into the dark side together. The train whistled pierced the fog as Liam stepped onto the cracked platform of Greyhaven, a town erased from maps and memories. Years ago, something happened here. The newspapers whispered of disappearances, strange lights, and silence that swallowed whole families. But no one ever stayed long enough to uncover the truth. Liam adjusted his camera strap and walked toward the empty streets. His editor's words echoed in his mind. Find the story no one dares to tell. The air was thick with decay, the buildings leaning like tired ghosts. A faded sign creaked overhead. Welcome to Greyhaven. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of eyes watching from broken windows and shadowed alleys. This was no ordinary investigation. Liam moved cautiously through the abandoned streets, each step echoing in eerie silence. The town felt frozen in time, but something was alive beneath that stillness, a low hum, barely perceptible, vibrating through the cracked pavement and broken walls. He pulled out his recorder, pressing play to capture any sound that might explain the rumors. For a moment, only static. Then a whisper, soft and urgent, threaded through the hiss. Leave before it finds you. His heart quickened. The voice wasn't on the tape. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. As dusk fell, the shadows lengthened and twisted unnaturally. Liam's flashlight flickered, casting brief, dancing shapes on the walls. Figures just out of sight, vanishing whenever he tried to focus. Ahead, the church bell tolled, though the building was crumbled and empty. A chill ran down his spine. He had come searching for a story, but already the story was searching back. Liam hesitated at the edge of the crumbling churchyard, its once majestic spire now fractured and leaning precariously toward the rotting earth below. The air was colder here, heavy with the scent of damp wood, and something far more ancient, decay that seemed to seep from the very stones. He stepped inside, the wooden door groaning a mournful welcome as he pushed it open. Dust motes danced in the weak beam of his flashlight, settling over pews cracked and splintered and walls scarred with faded, indecipherable symbols. His footsteps echoed through the hollow space as he moved deeper, the silence thick and suffocating. Then, from the shadows near the altar, a faint scraping noise, like nails dragging against stone, made him freeze. Slowly, Liam raised his camera, the cold lens reflecting his tense expression. "Is someone here?" he called softly. No answer. But then, a sudden shift in the shadows. A figure, pale and translucent, flickering like a broken projection, stood just beyond the pews. Liam's breath caught. The figure's eyes were hollow, black voids, yet somehow filled with an unbearable sadness. A whisper, barely audible, slid through the air. "They never left." Before Liam could react, the church bell tolled again, louder this time, reverberating through the empty streets like a death knell. The figure vanished, leaving behind an icy chill that clung to his skin. His recorder crackled to life, capturing a whisper from the dark. "Find us before it comes back." Liam stumbled backward, the cold air choking as the last echoes of bell faded. His fingers trembled as he pressed stop on the recorder, replaying the chilling message again and again. Find us before it comes back. Who were they, and what was coming back? His eyes darted to the altar where the ghostly figure had appeared. Faint scratches marked the wooden floorboards, leading toward a narrow staircase descending beneath the church. Despite every instinct screaming to flee, Liam's curiosity pushed him forward. The stairs creaked under his weight, spiraling down into a damp, suffocating crypt. The air was thick with mildew and the metallic tang of old blood. Flickering his flashlight, Liam saw rows of ancient coffins, their lids cracked and splintered. A faint glow pulsed in the far end of the crypt. Moving closer, he found a strange device half buried under rubble. A weathered metal box covered with cryptic runes, humming with an eerie energy. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, his breath visible in the air. Whispers swirled around him, voices overlapping in a tangled chorus. "Help us break the cycle." Liam's skin crawled. Whatever had cursed Greyhaven was far from over. And now it had reached out to him. Liam's hands shook as he reached out to touch the humming metal box. The runes on its surface glowed faintly under his fingertips, sending shivers through his body. He pulled out his notebook and hastily sketched the strange symbols, hoping to research them later. Suddenly, the whispers grew louder, no longer a disjointed chorus, but clear words. The cycle must end. The forgotten rise. A cold wind swept through the crypt, extinguishing his flashlight. In pitch darkness, Liam fumbled for his matches. As the flame flickered to life, he caught a glimpse of movement, a shadow slipping behind a broken coffin. He swallowed hard, trying to steady his breath. Who's there? No answer, only the echo of footsteps fading away. Liam's mind raced back to the stories he'd heard. Of an ancient pact made by the town's founders, a dark bargain to keep prosperity at a terrible price. Every generation, the curse demanded a sacrifice, dragging souls into the depths beneath Greyhaven. He glanced at the box again. This must be the key. Determined, Liam tucked the device into his jacket and climbed out of the crypt. Outside, the fog had thickened, wrapping the town in a suffocating shroud. His hunt for the truth was only beginning. Night swallowed Greyhaven. Liam found himself back on the desolate streets, the metal box heavy in his jacket pocket. The fog clung tightly, obscuring the dilapidated houses and warping familiar shapes into monstrous silhouettes. The whispering voices from the crypt echoed faintly in his mind, mingling with the distant tolling of the church bell, an ominous reminder that the curse was far from dormant. He approached what remained of the town hall, its windows shattered, doors hanging loosely on rusted hinges. Something about the place called to him, a pull he couldn't resist despite the dread curling in his gut. Inside, shadows danced as his flashlight flickered. Scraps of old newspapers littered the floor, headlines screaming warnings that had long been ignored. Disappearances baffle authorities. Town swallowed by silence. A dark pact sealed in blood? Suddenly, the air grew icy, and the whispering surged louder and more urgent. Liam's breath caught as spectral figures began to materialize, their faces etched with pain and desperation. End it before it's too late. Liam's resolve hardened. The truth was buried deep in Greyhaven's past, and he was the only one left to uncover it. Before the cycle claimed him too, the ghostly figures drifted closer, their hollow eyes locking onto Liam's. Among them, a woman stepped forward, her face both sorrowful and stern. "This town's fate was sealed long ago," she whispered. "The founders made a pact with something beyond our world, a promise for prosperity in exchange for silence and sacrifice." Liam swallowed hard. What kind of sacrifice? The curse demands souls, taken every generation, dragged into the darkness beneath the church. The forgotten rise, restless and vengeful. He glanced down at the humming metal box in his hand. "This is connected to it?" The woman nodded. "It holds the key to breaking the cycle. But beware, the forces guarding the pact will not let go easily." A sudden gust extinguished Liam's flashlight. In the pitch black, the whispers turned to anguished screams. He fumbled for his matches, heart pounding. The spectral woman's voice lingered in his mind. "You must finish what we started, or be consumed." The cold air of the town hall felt heavier than before, as if the building itself was holding its breath. Liam's fingers clenched around the metal box, its hum growing louder with each step toward the broken doorway leading to the church basement. Descending the stairs again, the narrow tunnel seemed even darker, the shadows thicker, whispering secrets just beyond hearing. The pulse of the device guided him deeper, illuminating the ancient symbols etched into the walls, warnings written in a language long forgotten. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath his feet, and a chilling voice echoed through the cavernous space. "You carry the hope of many, but the darkness fights to keep its hold." Liam pressed onward, resolve burning in his chest. The fate of Greyhaven, and perhaps more, rested on his shoulders. The walls around Liam seemed to close in, shadows twisting into grotesque shapes as he neared the heart of the crypt. The humming metal box pulsed wildly now, as if sensing the ancient evil lurking below. Suddenly, a darkness darker than night spilled from the cracks in the stone floor. Whispering voices screamed in agony and rage, clawing at his mind. Liam stumbled but forced himself forward, shouting, "I'm here to end this!" From a void emerged a massive shadowy figure, its form shifting and flickering, eyes glowing with malevolent fire. It was a curse itself, an ancient entity bound to pact. Liam raised the device, pressing the button. A brilliant beam of light erupted, piercing the darkness, causing the creature to howl and recoil. The crypt trembled as chains of light wrapped around the shadow, binding it. With a final, echoing scream, the darkness dissipated. Silence. Liam collapsed, exhausted but victorious. The curse was broken. Greyhaven could finally rest. The first light of dawn crept through the shattered windows of the church, painting the ruined town in hues of soft gold. For the first time in decades, Greyhaven felt alive. Liam sat outside on the cracked steps, the metal box now silent and cold beside him. The oppressive weight that had hung over the town lifted, replaced by a fragile hope. Voices from the past whispered no more. The restless souls were finally at peace. As he watched the sun rise, Liam knew his story was more than just words on a page. It was a testament to the courage of those forgotten, a warning, and a beacon. But in the distance, beyond the forest line, a faint flicker of green light pulsed briefly, unnoticed. The darkness never truly disappears.